Let's face it, most high-ranking people don't want to know you, but God does. Are you ready for some good news? The Lord of the universe, the creator of the ends of the earth, would like to be known by you, and more astonishingly, would like to know you personally. That's exactly what Paul wrote to the Galatians in chapter 4. Galatians, he said, now you've come to know God, or rather be known by God. How can you turn your back again to weak and worthless principles? He's saying that God wants to be known by you. Yesterday's devotional, I listed many ways that I know a lot about Billy Graham and who he was, how many people I know who knew the famous evangelist, and how familiar I am with his whole life and impact. Yet my point was, I never met Mr. Graham. I never knew him. I wish I had. If I had known him, it would certainly transcend and trump all other forms of knowledge that I could have had about him. In other words, knowing someone personally is a completely different kind of knowledge. Personally knowing someone is altogether superior to knowing all measures of things about someone. Paul's continued shock at the Galatian dramatic turn back to legalism after having received the gospel of grace is what he's talking about in chapter 4. You have come to know God, or rather be known by God. And I'm not sure which is more marvelous, that God wants us to know Him, or that He wants to know us. It's remarkable to think of God wanting to know us. J.I. Packer wrote about this once, saying, you could imagine meeting somebody really important, maybe the Queen of England, some exalted person that you'd really like to get to know, but you realize that it's not really your decision to make whether you're going to get to know the Queen of England. If you're going to get to know the Queen of England, then it's because the Queen is going to want to know you. You can't just make yourself a friend of someone so highly exalted. You see what J.I. Packer's saying? If you're going to know and be known by someone who clearly outranks you in every way, it'll be because the superior wants to know you and be known by you. So back to my not ever having known Billy Graham. Let's face it. I can talk to you about what an honor it would have been to know the great man of God, but he never wrote about that or talked about that with regard to me. Billy Graham never sat around and thought how much he would like to really know Alan Wright. He just didn't. But God does. The Supreme King of the cosmos is not off in isolation, but initiating in His love, coming to you because He wants you to know Him. You're invited to know God personally, and that's the gospel. That's today's extraordinarily good news, and you can get more videos like it. Just click right here, or better yet, be sure and subscribe. Start out every day with good news, and I hope you have a wonderful day today.